Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with new chapter, The Gift of Magi by O. Henry. Before starting the story, let us know in detail about the author O. Henry. William Sidney Porter, known by his pseudonym O. Henry, was born in North Carolina, USA. O. Henry is the pseudonym, a fictitious name of the author William Sidney Porter. Before he began writing in 1902, he had checkered career. Before he started writing stories, whereas his career was concerned, it was of different color. He served a term of imprisonment for misappropriation, although certain biographers have absolved him of this charge. In his life, he was punished, he was imprisoned. The reason for his dishonesty. But some of the biographers, they free this author from such charges. This social stigma, however, disabled him from getting employment anywhere, and so he took to writing to earn his livelihood. Just because of this social ill fame, he could not get job anywhere, and just to earn livelihood, he started writing stories. O. Henry is undoubtedly one of the most outstanding short story writers America has produced. Whereas the reputation of O. Henry is concerned, he is considered without any doubt the most outstanding short story writer of America. His varied experience of life enabled him to portray his characters with a rare authentic incisiveness. Whereas his knowledge of life was concerned, as a result of that knowledge, he could produce different type of characters in his stories with authentic sharpness. In his early collections of stories, he presents a colorful assemblage of characters such as burglars, drug victims, stockbrokers, piano salesman, soap manufacturer, policeman, men about town, down and outs, authors, box makers, laborers, etc. In brief, men and women from all walks of life. In his stories, the characters were from every walk of life. The most characteristic features of his stories are a superb sense of the dramatic, a pleasing intermingling of humor and pathos, and a style that is transparent and vigorous. Whereas characteristic features of the stories of Henry are concerned, they are dramatic, there is a mixture of humor and pathos, and his style is transparent one. He is notable for an unexpected twist at the end of his stories. He is also renowned that there is always an unexpected twist in the end of the story. The Gift of Magi is one of the most popular and moving stories of O. Henry. A story that shows that any gift of love, however unwisely given or received, is the greatest and the wisest. Whereas this story is concerned, it is one of the most popular stories of O. Henry. And the story shows that any gift of love, though it is given or received unwisely, It is the greatest and the wisest. In this story, with its all pervasive irony, a poor but devoted couple, Jim and Della, part with their best treasures to purchase Christmas gifts for each other. What is the theme of the story? That there are two characters, husband and wife, and they part from their valuable things, valuable articles, just in order to purchase Christmas gift for each other. Della sells her lovely brown hair to buy her husband a fob chain for his watch, while Jim sells his invaluable gold watch to present his wife expensive tortoise shell combs for her hair. So this is the sacrifice of the couple, that whereas the lady was concerned, she sold her brown hair just to purchase a fob chain for her husband, and whereas the husband, Jim, was concerned, at the same time, he sold his golden watch just to purchase a present of tortoise shell combs to give to his wife. Let us start with the story. The gift of Magi. Magi, three wise men from the east who brought gifts for Jesus Christ on his birthday. $1.87. That was all. And 60 cents were of it was in pennies. The amount which was there saved by the lady, that was $1.87 coins, and out of them 60 cents were in the form of pennies. Pennies saved 1 and 2 at a time by bulldozing the grocer and the vegetable man and the butcher until one's cheeks burned with the silent imputation of parsimony that such close dealing implied. How these pennies were saved? By bulldozing, by bargaining with the grocer, bargaining with the vegetable man, bargaining with the butcher. And she kept on bargaining unless and until the seller becomes angry. His cheeks turn red in color with the silent imputation, though they did not say anything, but their expression, they show that they were angry because of the parsimony, the miserliness that such close dealings implied. Whenever such type of tight bargaining is there, because of the miserliness, such reactions of the shopkeepers were there. 3 times Della counted it. 3 times constantly Della, she counted this saved money, $1.87. And the next day would be Christmas. The next day was going to be the Christmas day. There was clearly nothing to do but flop down on this shabby little couch and howl. At this stage, she could not do anything but to flop down, to fall down on the shabby, dirty little couch, little long chair, and howl and cry. She could not do at that time anything, but she could sit there in the long chair and cry. So Della did it. So Della did it. Which instigates the moral reflection that life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles, with sniffles predominating. It shows that life is full of sobs, full of sniffles, and smiles. It is a mixture of seriousness and happiness, but sadness is predominant. While the mistress of the home is gradually subsiding from the first stage to the second, take a look at the home. While the mistress of the home, Della, she was sinking down from one stage to another stage, author says, let us know something about the home in which they reside. A furnished flat at $8 per week. It was a furnished flat and the rent of the flat was $8 per week. It did not exactly beggar's description, but it certainly had that word on the lookout for the mendicancy squid. It is not the description that the house was that of the beggars, but the condition was so that it was enough to keep the beggars away. Mark it here. Thank you very much.